Deep in the heart of uncharted space, the Galactic Empire's vast fleet floats silently against a backdrop of stars. These ships are monstrous, sleek with advanced technology, bristling with weaponry that has helped them conquer and control hundreds of systems across the galaxy. They're the uncontested rulers of this sector, and the rumors of a small convoy of human warships heading their way barely register as a minor nuisance. On the Empire's flagship, the command deck is buzzing with anticipation. High-ranking officials, seasoned strategists, and the Empire's captain, all veterans of numerous galactic skirmishes, gather around an enormous display of the human convoy slowly approaching. The captain scoffs, watching the human fleet inch closer. He sneers, turning to his crew with a mocking smile. "Primitive species," he says, chuckling. "They don't even have warp fields as advanced as ours. This is hardly worth the fuel." The others around him laugh along, throwing out dismissive remarks and snide comments about humanity's rust bucket, ships, and outdated technology. One tactician, reviewing the specs of the human ships, shakes his head with an amused grin. "A minor nuisance at best," he says. "The only question is whether they'll surrender the moment they see our fleet." As the human fleet draws closer, their calm movements are clear on the display. The Empire's officers expect a rush of panic or hesitation from them, maybe even a hasty retreat. But instead, the human ships continue on their path with a steady, almost playful ease. The crew on the Empire's bridge watches in growing confusion, taken aback by the lack of response. Their ships are poised for attack, but the humans seem indifferent. The captain smirks, interpreting this as naivety or weakness. "They probably don't even realize the trouble they're in," he says, drawing another round of laughter. Then, without warning, a transmission request from the human fleet lights up the command display. The officers exchange glances, chuckling at the audacity, as the captain accepts the transmission. The holographic screen flickers, and Commander Ice Harrison appears. He's calm, composed, wearing a slight, friendly smile. "Good day," he says casually. "We're passing through these parts and noticed your presence. Just thought we'd say hello." His tone is relaxed, even friendly, as if they're having a casual conversation rather than a face-off between two armed fleets. The Empire's captain raises an eyebrow, thoroughly unimpressed. "Commander Harrison," he says, almost mockingly, "I hope you realize what you're dealing with. Your fleet is outmatched in every way. I suggest you stand down before things get unpleasant." Commander Harrison simply raises an eyebrow, that small, confident smile never leaving his face. "Oh, no need to worry about us. We're more than capable of handling ourselves," he replies, a faint hint of humor in his voice. The Empire's captain barely conceals his amusement. "Handling yourselves?" he repeats, voice dripping with condescension. "I doubt your kind even understands the full capabilities of the ships in this fleet. You're entering a world far beyond your primitive understanding." Commander Harrison lets out a soft chuckle. "Well, I suppose we'll just have to see about that, won't we?" He nods politely. "Good luck." With that, the transmission ends, leaving the Empire's crew momentarily silent. Some of the lower-level soldiers, watching the exchange glances, a flicker of doubt crossing their minds. The humans calm, their unwavering confidence. It feels out of place, unsettling even. But the senior officers quickly shake it off, chalking it up to human arrogance. The captain scoffs. "Fools," he mutters. "They'll regret their arrogance soon enough." Back on the human ships, the crew goes about their preparations, each soldier relaxed, smiling, even cracking jokes as they fine-tune their weaponry. Despite the massive Empire fleet bearing down on them, there's no hint of fear. Instead, they exchange smirks, as if in on a secret only they know. Commander Harrison takes his seat, watching the Empire fleet's formation through the display. A junior officer leans over, a grin on his face. "Do you think they're ready for what's coming?" Commander Harrison chuckles. "Ready? They don't even have a clue." The crew laughs, fully aware of the advantage they hold, knowing the Empire is woefully unprepared for what humanity has in store. The Empire's fleet hangs poised, its formation tight and menacing, as the signal to attack is given. A barrage of plasma beams, railgun rounds, and energy missiles hurtles across the void toward the human convoy. Empire officers watch with smug satisfaction, confident that this overwhelming show of force will shatter the humans' feeble ships. Soldiers on the flagship exchange grins, certain they'll soon see the remnants of the human fleet drifting as debris. As the energy missiles approach, however, the human ships activate their defenses with swift precision. An advanced shield array glows to life around each ship, absorbing and neutralizing the initial wave of plasma and energy with remarkable ease. The railgun rounds that get through meet a network of auto-targeting point defense lasers, which slice the projectiles to pieces before they come close to impact. The Empire's captain watches in stunned silence as the humans withstand the assault without taking a single hit. He scowls, refusing to believe what he's seeing. The junior officers around him, who had expected to see the humans crumbling, now exchange nervous glances. The confidence in their eyes dims, replaced by confusion and the first hints of doubt. Impossible, the captain mutters, more to himself than to anyone else. They should have been obliterated. But the human convoy doesn't just withstand the barrage. They continue advancing, shields undisturbed, as if nothing more than a mild inconvenience had occurred. Back on the Empire's flagship, the captain's brow furrows in frustration. He orders a second volley, this time with higher-powered rounds and an array of strategic formations, hoping to catch the humans off guard. Once more, the Empire's weaponry cuts across the void with blistering speed, but the human ships counter effortlessly. Their shields hold strong, and any incoming missile is dispatched with precision laser fire. No energy is wasted. Each human warship moves with synchronized, practiced efficiency. The Empire's officers watch, wide-eyed, as the humans deflect the attack with almost casual ease. The captain's grip tightens on the arm of his command chair, disbelief turning to anger. In a sudden break of silence, a transmission comes in from one of the human captains. The screen flickers, and a smiling face appears, giving a small wave before speaking with an exaggerated, cheerful tone. "Is that all you've got?" the human captain says with a smirk. He gives a little shrug, as if amused by the Empire's attempts. "Because if this is the best you can do, we might just start feeling a little disappointed." The captain cuts the transmission furiously, teeth gritted. He barks orders, and the Imperial fleet escalates its assault, launching the most advanced weaponry in their arsenal. Energy cannons surge with power, torpedoes blast forth, and specialized drones are deployed to attack in coordinated patterns. Empire soldiers and officers throw every trick they know at the humans, pushing their weapon systems to their limit. But again, the human fleet adapts in real time. Each attack is analyzed, and their responses are so precise it's as if they're anticipating every move. Not only do the humans remain unscathed, but their countermeasures grow sharper, as if they're gaining even more control over the battlefield. They fire back selectively, disabling Empire weapons with pinpoint accuracy, further demonstrating the sophistication of their targeting systems. On the flagship, Imperial officers grow increasingly frantic. Sweat beads on the brows of several as they watch their relentless barrage achieve absolutely nothing. The captain clenches his fists, frustration building with every failed assault. Then, another human message cuts through the Empire's comm channels. This time, it's a recording of laughter, loud, amused, genuine laughter echoing from every human ship across their shared frequency. The sound spreads across the Empire's fleet, reaching the ears of every soldier. Some lower-ranking officers look at each other, unnerved, not used to being mocked in the heat of battle. Another human voice follows, dripping with humor. "Hey, Empire boys, what's the hold-up? We came out here for a good fight." Some Empire soldiers shift uncomfortably, feeling an unfamiliar sense of vulnerability. The humans not only withstand the onslaught but seem to be enjoying themselves, toying with the Imperial forces, almost as if this were a game. The psychological impact of this cuts deeper than any weapon. The soldiers of the Empire are not accustomed to facing an enemy who laughs in the face of their power. On board the Empire's flagship, the captain's face twists with anger and disbelief. He watches as his crew stumbles under the psychological strain. For them, this was supposed to be a quick, efficient strike, a reminder of the Empire's superiority. Yet here they are, failing against a species they deemed inferior. The human fleet, having deflected every attack, now shifts seamlessly into an offensive stance. Human warships align in a formation that looks irregular to the untrained eye, but each move is calculated, every ship positioned with strategic precision. The Empire's officers, who expected nothing more than a futile resistance, watch as the human ships advance with a confidence that's almost chilling. Without warning, the human fleet begins their counterattack. Rather than launching a traditional assault, they employ unorthodox tactics that seem unpredictable, weaving through the Empire's formation with surprising agility. Instead of targeting the Empire's frontline ships, the humans strike weak points in the fleet's structure: communications arrays, shield generators, and propulsion systems. Their weapons are refined and accurate, tearing into vital components with surgical precision. Empire ships begin to buckle. Sections of their fleet flicker with sparks as critical systems go offline. The flagship's deck is filled with stunned silence as alarms blare, reports flooding in from across the fleet. Human firepower pierces armor plating as if it's little more than paper. Entire sections of Empire warships go dark as targeting systems fail and shields collapse. The captain's eyes widen as he realizes these primitive humans have weaponry beyond anything the Empire anticipated. Confusion spreads among the Empire's officers. No one had prepared for this. They'd expected a straightforward fight against inferior technology, but the humans seemed to have intimate knowledge of the Empire's vulnerabilities, exploiting weaknesses in ways that shouldn't even be possible. Empire leaders realize too late that the human fleet isn't just strong, they're fighting with an understanding of Imperial tactics, ship design, and vulnerabilities. The captain grits his teeth as another transmission lights up their display. This time, it's Commander Harrison, leaning back comfortably with a wide grin. His voice, dripping with amusement, fills the Empire's bridge. "Oh, this is too easy," he says with a chuckle. "We thought you guys were supposed to be tough." A few Empire soldiers shift uncomfortably, feeling a growing sense of dread as the humans continue to dominate with both firepower and wit. Harrison's taunt echoes through the fleet, fueling an eerie tension. The humans' laughter and confidence start to weigh on the Empire's soldiers, shaking their belief in their own strength. The human fleet presses on, adapting with breathtaking speed, their tactics evolving mid-battle to counter every attempt the Empire makes to regroup. Each time the Empire tries to realign their formation, human warships are there first, cutting off escape routes and isolating weaker ships. Empire fighters that try to regroup are quickly flanked and neutralized, as if the humans can predict their every move. In the engineering bays aboard the human ships, technicians and engineers monitor data feeds, having carefully studied Imperial technology long before this confrontation. They adjust targeting algorithms, exploit weak points in shielding mechanisms, and relay critical information to their fleet, staying one step ahead of the Empire at every turn. The engineers have prepared meticulously for this moment, ensuring that each move the humans make is devastatingly effective. The Empire's fleet, once an imposing force, now finds itself unraveling. Human ships continue picking them apart with calculated precision, and Empire officers can only watch helplessly as one vessel after another is disabled or destroyed. The captain's once confident expression is gone, replaced by frustration and disbelief. The humans are dismantling his fleet faster than he can issue orders, slipping past every defensive measure he attempts to put in place. As another Imperial cruiser loses power, a burst of laughter from the human comms fills the Empire's bridge. Commander Harrison's voice cuts through the chaos, a mocking edge in his tone. "You call this an empire? We expected more of a challenge." His taunt stings, a bitter reminder that the humans aren't just winning, they're having fun doing it. Some of the Empire's soldiers, already rattled by the humans' relentless attacks, feel their resolve falter. For the first time, they're up against an enemy that isn't just surviving but is thriving in battle, dominating every aspect of the encounter. Morale plummets as the human fleet advances, their laughter a haunting reminder of the Empire's own vulnerability. On the Empire's flagship, chaos reigns. The once confident officers are now in open argument, their voices rising in panic. Some argue desperately that they must retreat before any more of the fleet is lost. Others, clinging to their pride, insist that surrender is unthinkable. The Empire's image cannot withstand defeat at the hands of a primitive species. But as reports of heavy casualties and severe damage pile up, even the most stubborn officers begin to falter. Down in the ranks, the soldiers who once believed they were part of an invincible force feel the first, crushing reality of fear. Whispers pass between them as they look at the devastation around them, the broken ships, the systems offline. They realize that everything they'd been taught about their superiority over lesser species was nothing more than a lie. Their supposed invincibility has been shattered by an enemy they hadn't even taken seriously. The flagship captain, face tight with anger and defeat, finally gives the command to fall back. Desperate to salvage whatever remains, the fleet begins its retreat. But before they can gain any distance, the human ships close in, forming a barrier around the Empire's vessels and cutting off any chance of escape. A line of human warships looms in front of them, every weapon aimed with deadly precision. The Empire's retreat is blocked at every turn, each avenue for escape is methodically sealed by the humans. As if on cue, Commander Harrison appears on the comm display again, his face alight with the same smirk that's haunted the Empire's officers since the beginning of the battle. "Leaving so soon?" Harrison says, his tone mocking. "But we were just starting to enjoy ourselves. I'll make this easy for you," he continues with a wry smile. "You can surrender now, or we can keep playing. Your call." The Empire's officers look at each other, faces pale, weighing their pride against their mounting losses. The captain's hands tremble as he considers the humiliating prospect of surrendering to a species they once dismissed. Pride wins out, if only momentarily. With a grimace, he orders one last all-out attack, hoping for a miracle to turn the tide. This final assault is fierce, every remaining weapon fired in a last-ditch effort to regain control. But the humans are prepared. As the Empire's fleet charges forward in desperation, the human ships respond with unmatched precision, each maneuver perfectly timed. They intercept missiles, neutralize energy blasts, and counter the Empire's every move, as if they'd rehearsed this scenario countless times. The human fleet swarms around the Empire's flagship, targeting it with a series of concentrated, pinpoint strikes. In mere moments, the Empire's flagship is crippled, its systems failing one by one until it's dead in the water, listing helplessly as explosions ripple across its hull. The captain's face, once filled with pride and certainty, now reflects only shock and despair as the lights around him flicker and dim. The flagship breaks apart in a brilliant burst of fire, the Empire's final stand ending in a swift, calculated blow. With the flagship destroyed, the morale of the remaining Empire ships plummets. Leaderless and demoralized, they know they're outmatched. One by one, Imperial ships send out signals of surrender, recognizing that continuing the fight is futile. Defeat washes over them as they realize they were outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and utterly outclassed. The human calms light up with laughter, cheers ringing across the fleet, celebrating their victory with an ease that leaves the Empire's soldiers even more shaken. The human voices carry a triumphant energy, a clear signal to the Empire that their reign of unchecked dominance has come to an end. The human fleet fills with celebratory cheers and messages, a mix of laughter, relief, and a deep sense of pride. Jokes fly over the comms, each voice carrying the lightness of a victory hard won. Crew members congratulate one another, sharing a moment of camaraderie that goes beyond words. For them, it's not just about defeating the Empire, it's about proving to themselves and the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. The energy is electric, fueled by a confidence and unity that now extends beyond Earth's borders. In the midst of the celebrations, Commander Harrison takes a moment, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. He opens a channel to broadcast their victory to nearby systems, a message intended not only for those who witnessed the battle but for every civilization across the galaxy. The humans know that news of this encounter will spread, and Harrison intends to make sure the story is told right. His voice, calm and steady, fills the comms, projecting strength and resolve. To any who thought us weak, Harrison begins, his tone firm yet tinged with amusement. Consider this your warning. Humanity may come in peace, but we're ready for war if that's what it takes to defend ourselves. He pauses, letting the weight of his words hang in the silence. Underestimate us at your own risk. We don't seek conflict, but we will never back down. As the broadcast reaches out to distant systems, alien civilizations across the galaxy pause to listen. For some, it's a message of awe. They marvel at humanity's unexpected strength and tactical brilliance, recognizing that these newcomers have achieved a victory that would challenge even the most seasoned fleets. Others react with fear, disturbed by the implications of humanity's capability to not only resist but decisively defeat one of the galaxy's most dominant empires. The galaxy has shifted in a way that cannot be ignored, and species far and wide begin to reconsider their assumptions about humanity. Back in the Empire, the news of their defeat spreads quickly, and the once arrogant officials are left in disgrace. The Empire, for all its power, has been humbled, forced to acknowledge that a supposedly inferior species has managed to dismantle their pride with shocking ease. Conversations ripple through the Empire, talk of their humiliating loss and what it means for their dominance. For the first time, the Empire is forced to recognize humanity not as a minor nuisance but as a major player in the galaxy's political and military landscape. As the human fleet drifts back toward familiar space, there's a shared understanding among the crew. This victory marks the beginning of something far greater. Humanity's place among the stars has been established, and they know the galaxy is watching. Their ascent is only beginning, and there's a quiet determination in each crew member, knowing they're part of a chapter that will be remembered long after. The stars stretch out before them, full of promise and challenge. Humanity's path forward may be uncertain, but one thing is clear: they'll face whatever comes next with the same strength, intelligence, and courage that won them this victory. And with a touch of humor, too, for that is what makes them human. With a final cheer, the fleet surges forward, ready to carve their destiny into the stars.